Breathe out, gather it into your heart. Do it again. All right. An om if you'd like. And take your arms really wide. Breathe in. Breathe out, one hand down, the other arm up and over. Now make a fist with your top hand. Make a tight fist, like you're shaking your fist at the sky for all the injustice that's still out there, and still embrace joy. Let your head go towards your bottom shoulder. And now pull your fist down and away from your top ear. Exhale. Separate your jaw, your top teeth. Inhale, reach up and over. You can make a wide hand now, like you're spreading your fingers really wide, and then make that fist again and pull it down, your elbow down away from your ear. Like you're pulling a rubber band away from the ceiling or from your ear. One more time. Feel that lengthening from your ear through your elbow. And then reach up and over. Wrap your hand to the bottom side of your head and inhale up. Now press your head into that hand. Press your head into that same hand. You can come all the way upright, so your ears are above your shoulders, but you're pressing your head into that hand. And then move the hand a quarter of the way back and press again. And then bring your hand to the back of your head and press your head back into your hand. Now notice your pelvis and your lower spine. Find neutral there. Keep breathing. Release that hand down beside you. And take your other arm up and over. Find the side bend the other way. So reach long through your spine, ground your seat. Make a fist with your top hand. Maybe shake your fist at the injustice in the world. Let your head go, though. Let the weight of your head drop towards the earth. And then on your next exhale, pull your fist down and away from your top ear. Back teeth are separated. 2 more times on your own. Maybe spread your fingers, reach. Yeah, let the yawns happen. Reach up and over. Let your head go. Take your hand to the bottom side of your head and then use the strength of your arm to lift your head so you're upright. Now keep your hand there and press your head into your hand. So it's like an isometric action. Press your head into your hand. Keep your head upright. Keep breathing. Move your hand slightly back so it's about halfway to the back of your head, and press your head into your hand. So your ears are above your shoulders now. And then take your hand to the back of your head and press your head straight back. So your ears are aligned above your shoulders, shoulders aligned above hips. Great, release and roll your shoulders. Let's take our legs out wide, any width that's comfortable. Circle your feet. And circle them the other way. Take one foot in. You can bring your calf out if you want. Okay, so the knee that's bent, that arm is coming up. And we're going to look at that hand and draw a big figure 8. This is to get our brains online, like opposite sides, getting the brain, the left and right brain to talk to each other. So we're going to make a big figure 8, watching your hand go down, looping towards your foot and up. Make sure you breathe somewhere in here. Watching your hand in that figure 8, moving and breathing. Keep it gentle. Really just make the biggest movement you can with your arm and watch your hand go through it. And then completely optional, if your wrist feels warmed up and you want to, take your hand next to your back hip, press into your shin and your heel and lift up. Take your top arm up, reach over, only if that feels good. Maybe you look at that top hand. And then lower down, and we're going to change sides. So you can draw out your calf a little bit as you bend your other knee. Okay. And then the other arm coming up. Look at that hand and watch your hand going through the figure 8, the infinity symbol motion. There's no right or wrong with this. I would encourage you to breathe. And play. If you're feeling any doubt or confusion, just warm up to that feeling, right? That the recognition of confusion is a form of clarity. Now that top hand, if it feels warmed up and your wrist is okay with it, you can press into it. You can either keep your hips down or lift them up. And lower on down. All right. Come onto all fours for a moment. Do a little cat and cow. And then turning your toes under, start to back up, get a little toe stretch. So you could keep your hands on the floor with your toes turned under, or you can back up even more for your hands to come to your thighs. And notice how this feels for your feet. So it's a little foot stretch, toes are turned under, maybe shoulders come above hips. If you're finding that a lot, keep your hands forward. If you're feeling like this is okay, maybe you hug your heels and knees and feet towards each other so you feel more. And then you can walk your little toes under and walk your knees further forward. Now we're not going for excruciating, remember? We're going for aha. And then coming back to all fours, pitter patter of your feet like raindrops, a sound, and then turn your toes under, downward dog. Letting one knee bend and then the other. Looking under one armpit and then the other. And then start to walk your feet towards your hands or your hands towards your feet or a combination of both. When you're in your forward fold, let your knees bend and dangle your spine. And maybe hold opposite elbows. And then you might let your fingers start to draw a figure 8, an infinity symbol on the floor, swaying a little bit, one knee bending a little and then the other. And they don't have to actually touch the floor, it doesn't matter. We're just kind of watching that infinity symbol again, that figure 8. Eventually bring your hands to your thighs, shoulders back, elbows back, sit back, lift the pit of your belly and take your chest forward and up. So ground through your feet, chest forward and up, breathe in, breathe out, lift the pit of your belly and curl your spine round. Standing cat and cow 2 more times. Feel the strength of your legs, the groundedness of your feet, the width of your toes. All right, and then when you feel ready, come all the way to stand. Shake out a little bit. So one hand, one finger on your nose, the other finger on your opposite ear. Yeah. And then switch. I think I just, yeah, there we go. It's hard to look at yourself while you're doing it. Don't look at yourself while you're doing it. And you can start off really slow and then get faster. All right, and then shake out. So if you use blocks for lunges, for low lunges, I'd encourage you to have a block towards the front and a block towards the back of your mat. There are going to be times when you're going to be turned away from the screen, most likely, and that's really fine. So let that be okay. Standing at the front of the mat or front of your space, and your feet can be a comfortable distance apart, spread out your toes. We're going to start this really slow. Hug your hips towards each other. Start to sit back. Feel the weight in your heels and reach your arms forward and up. So this is your chair pose, right? Or your fierce and awkward pose. So being courageous with that little awkwardness. Now start to swing your arms through back behind you like you're squeezing a block behind you. Spread your toes and come up onto the balls of your feet, balancing bird. Heels come off the ground, and like you're tipping, the bird is kind of drinking out of one of those little feeders, and you're almost tipping forward, but not quite. Now take your hands to your hips and bring your heels back down. So you're still sitting down. All right, so shift your weight into your right foot, and as slowly as you can, float your left foot off the floor. Keep your right knee bent and start to take your left leg slowly behind you, coming to a high lunge. So you'll be on the ball of your left foot. Your right heel is grounded, your right knee is bent. Lift your belly, reach your arms to your high lunge position. So far, so good, right? Inhale. And as you exhale, you'll turn your back heel down and open up to a warrior two, still facing me. Right knee is bent. Gazing over front fingertips, right fingertips. Shoulders above hips, ears above shoulders. Breathe. Okay, so you have choices here. You could bring your hands to the floor inside of your right foot. You could also take your hand or forearm onto your right thigh, or you can bring your hands to the floor to a block inside your right foot. So we have choices here. We want to deepen that feeling of sensation in the right hip, just the right amount. And then if you want to straighten and bend a little bit, you could. And then start to walk your hands out to the side away from your right foot. So they're going to the left a little bit. Bend and straighten your right knee again. Might feel a little more spaciousness in that front hip. Breathe. Okay, now we're going to walk our hands further over to the left, turning your feet parallel. And we'll do a little runner's lunge here, bending your back knee and then your front knee side to side. Back knee and front knee side to side. This is where you'll be turning towards the back. You'll walk your hands around towards that left foot and bring your right knee down. So your back knee, your front knee is now your back knee, right? And it's coming down. So your hands are inside of your left foot in a lizard pose. I'll show it from the side. So you can bring the block with you if you want. So your hands are inside of your left foot in that lizard pose. Breathe. All right, now pick up your back knee again. So your back knee is up. Be on the ball of your back heel, your right heel. The ball of your right foot, not your heel. Your heel is up. And bring your hands up to your left thigh. So you end up in a high lunge facing away from me. So your belly lifts, reach your arms. And then slide your hands to your hips. Hug your hips towards each other. And step your back foot to meet your front foot. So you're going to be facing away from me. And you're in your chair pose. So you're in your chair pose. You can reach your arms. And then you're shifting to that balancing bird position. Heels up, arms back. All right, and then ground your heels. Bring your hands to your hips. and shift your weight into your right foot again and pick up your left foot again and start to take your left foot back behind you until you're in a high lunge position, still facing away, right knee bent, arms can reach. High lunge, right foot forward, left foot back. Now please turn to your left, turn both feet out about 45 degrees, bend your knees and bend your elbows, goddess squat, like that. So we're gonna imagine we're picking up some flowers. So tip forward, you can pick some flowers and you can spray them all over, right? So come down, pick them, and then sow those seeds, right? And also you can imagine that you're taking off your sweater. So you're taking off your sweater and you're just throwing it because you don't need it anymore. And do this a few times. And then please bring your hands to your hips. Start to turn your left toes to face me again. To face me. And come up onto the ball of your back foot, your right foot. And come to a high lunge facing me. Lift the pit of your belly. You can keep your hands on your hips. Start to shift your weight into your left foot. And as slowly as you can, make your way back to the chair pose. And from here, straighten up and turn the right knee out and come into any version of tree pose. All right, knee forward, place your foot down, pause. So there may be this either mental, emotional, or physical sense of confusion in your body, and that's completely normal, right? So now we're going to do the other side. And try not to anticipate, try not to rush through it. We'll just be in that sense, that beginner's mind, that sense of kind of not knowing as we go through this on the other side. Well, hopefully I know, but you don't have to, right? Hug your hips towards each other, sit in your chair pose. Feel free to reach your arms. Start to shift into your balancing bird. Arms swing back. Bring your weight to the balls of your feet. And keep your knees bent as you tip a little forward and find that tipping point right before you fall forward. Squeeze the block, imaginary block between your hands. Then bring your heels down. Really feel your feet, hands on hips. Keep your left foot forward. Pick up your right foot off the floor and very slowly extend your right leg back. And you come into a high lunge here. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, you'll move to warrior two. So your back heel will come down. That left knee will stay over left heel. Reach your arms out and gaze over left fingers. Pause. Okay, from here, remember you have choices. You can come into your side angle position, or you can bring your hands onto your block inside of your left foot or to the floor. Pausing there. And you can straighten and bend a little bit. Doesn't have to be completely straight. My son thought it was torture when I was showing him this, but don't go beyond your comfort zone. Now start to walk your hands a little bit to the right. Feel more spaciousness in your left hip as you straighten and bend a little bit. All right. And then turning your left toes to the right, start to walk your hands to the side more. So you're in that side straddle positions, and then bend your back knee and your front knee. Bend your right knee and your left knee. Do it a few more times. And then we keep walking those hands towards the back, away from me. Turn your feet and bring your left knee down. So your hands are inside of your back foot, which is your right foot. And your left knee can come down for your lizard pose. Your back leg is your right leg, hugging your right thigh towards your right shoulder and your right shoulder towards your right thigh. And now turn your left toes under. Lift up your left knee. Start to move your hands up to your right thigh. Lift your belly. So we end up in the high lunge facing away. And then bring your hands to your hips. Start to shift your weight into that front foot, which is your right foot. And slowly, slowly bring your left foot forward, bend your knees, chair pose. So you're in the chair pose facing away. And then you're in the balancing bird facing away. And then you come back to your chair pose. And your hands come to your hips. Hug your hips towards each other. Shift your weight into your left foot. Pick up your right foot off the ground and slowly, slowly take your right foot back. So you're in a high lunge position. Reach your arms. From here, we're going to turn to the right into a goddess pose. So turn your feet so they're about 45 degrees, elbows out, bend your knees. And this time, if you want to do bigger movement, right, you can, drawing big circles with your arms, or this can be a smaller movement. So we need to do the work of sowing, right? Take those seedlings and we're sowing them. And this takes hope, right? Having the courage and the effort, making the effort to do this work. And then partnering with the sunshine, right? It takes courage, it takes hope. All right, come back to that goddess pose, hands onto hips. Start to turn your front toes forward, that's your right foot. Come onto the ball of your left foot, your back foot. So you're shifting to face the front. And then slowly, slowly bring your weight into your right foot. Step your left foot forward to that chair pose. And then stand up. Turn your left knee out and find any variation of a tree. And in this tree pose, welcome joy. Anytime, bring your knee forward. Place your foot down. Pause, shake out. Hug your hips towards each other. I think this time it'll feel a little easier. I'm not positive. Sit your weight back, come to your chair pose. Breathe in. Breathe out, balancing bird, tip to the balls of your feet. Heels down, hands on hips. So you'll start to lift up your left foot and very slowly take your left thigh back until you're in your high lunge position. Reach your arms if you'd like. From here, keeping your right knee over your right heel, open up warrior two. Look over right fingertips, feel your power and your purpose. So this time, you can explore the same option that you did before as you come inside, hands inside of that right foot. You can also keep hands on thigh if you want to stay up a little higher, or you can use a block. Another option is to bring your right shoulder inside that right thigh and possibly hold your right ankle with one hand or both. And hug your right thigh towards your right shoulder towards right thigh. Keep breathing. Walk your hands a little bit left Walk your hands just about a quarter turn left, and then draw your right hip back as far as feels good. And that might be enough. Or you might take your right hand somewhere near your right foot and your left hand up to your left hip and find your way into any version of a triangle pose. And so it could look like this. It could look like this. It could look like a block, which I don't have displayed, but hopefully you can imagine. And then take your hands down and start to turn your right toes to the left. Take your hands to the left side, and you're in your forward bend position. And you're on that left side. And then bend your back knee, bend your front knee. Bend your back knee and your front knee. And then bend your back knee and come into the lizard pose by walking your hands towards your left foot. And you can decide this time whether you want to bring your right knee down or keep it up. And you could come lower if you wanted to, either with a block or with your elbows on the floor. All right, and then if your back knee is down, start to lift it up. Feel steady on the ball of your right foot and the whole left foot, and bring your hands up to your left thigh. Lift up until you're in that high lunge position. Maybe reach your arms, maybe not. Really lengthen your waist, continue to breathe, and then bring your hands to your hips. Hug your hips in towards each other. Shift your weight into your left foot. Step your right foot forward until you're in your chair pose. From your chair pose, find your balancing bird. And then back to your chair pose. Hands can come to hips. Hug your hips towards each other. Shift your weight to your right foot. Lift up your left foot. And slowly, slowly extend your left leg back until you're in a high lunge position. So right foot is forward, arms reach. From here, turn partway to the left. Turn your toes out 45 degrees and bend your knees. Goddess squat. And again here, you can imagine that you're sowing the seeds, you're spreading the love, or you're simply taking off your sweater. Right? And you might be straightening and bending a few times. Make sure you're breathing here. All right, and then hands on hips. So as we turn, left toes forward and start to turn on the ball of your right foot, your hips will come facing the front. And we're going to come straight into the tree pose from here. So really strong on your left foot. Shift your weight. Bring your right knee forward and up. Turn your hip out and find a place for your right foot on your inner left leg. And then do whatever you like with your branches. Okay, right knee forward. Place your foot down, come right into your chair pose, please. Start to tip into your balancing bird. One of the joys of being upstate the most recent time in February was filling the bird feeder and watching them, all those hungry birds come and just like tip on their little feet and peck at the bird seed. All right, heels down, hands on hips. Now you're keeping your left foot forward, starting to lift up your right foot. Keep breathing. Slowly take your right leg back. High lunge position. Reach your arms. So you're strong with that left heel. You're planting your feet into the earth. Deep breath. As you breathe out, open up to your right for your warrior two. Look over left fingers. Breathe. This is where we can develop that benevolent courage and strength to do the work that needs to be done to reap the benefits of hope and joy, right? Breathe in, breathe out. You have options. Hand to thigh, hand to block, hands to block, or hands to floor inside of that left foot. And remember that you can experiment with hugging your shoulder, your left shoulder inside your left thigh, or not. You might be holding your left ankle with one or both hands. Now, warm sensation in your left hip is one thing. Searing, hurting, another thing, right? We don't want to go towards pain, especially sharp pain. Feel the strength in your left heel. Start to walk your hands a little bit right, a little bit. It's about halfway to the side. And then straighten and bend your left leg a little bit as you breathe. And now you could do some semblance of a triangle pose if you would like to. Maybe you walk your left hand closer to your left foot with the block or without, and start to turn right and take your right arm up. And this is, again, only if it feels appropriate. Your hand can certainly climb higher on your left leg. From here, we're walking hands further to the right, turning feet parallel to each other. Bend your back knee, bend your front knee, side to side, back and then front. Okay, and bending your right knee, start to walk your hands towards your right foot, away from me. So you're facing the back, hands inside that right foot. You can either your back knee can be down, that's your left knee, or you can keep it up and breathe in your lizard. And this time, if you wanted to bring your elbows down, you certainly can, or you can focus more on strength, hugging that right knee in towards your right shoulder. All right, and then from here, we're going to slowly make our way to the high lunge. So really be confident on your right heel. Bring your hands up to your right thigh. You're on your ball of your left foot and your whole right foot. Right knee bent, lift your belly, reach your arms. Hands on hips, hug your hips towards each other. Slowly shift your weight into your right foot and step your left foot towards your right foot. Chair pose. Take a breath. From your chair pose, balancing bird. Heels down, hands to hips. Start to lift up your right foot off the ground and slowly take your right foot back behind you until you're in a high lunge position. So your left foot, left heel is under left knee. Right heel is back. Inhale. And as you exhale, start to turn to your right to your goddess squat. Right, you can stay here. You can straighten into a star shape and stay there. You can bend and straighten, or you can sow your seeds or take off your sweater. Whatever springtime metaphor speaks to you, right? Spread the sunshine, spread the hope, spread the vaccines, whatever. And then hands to hips. So your shoulders are above your hips, hands on hips. Start to turn your right toes right. Come onto the ball of your left foot, your back foot. So your left hip is rotating forward and you end up in that high lunge position. Really strong on your right heel, hands on hips, hug your hips towards each other. We're going to go straight into the tree pose this time. So shift your weight to your right foot Bring your left knee through, turn it out, and find your tree pose. And play a little bit. When you're done, take your left knee forward, place your foot down. One more chair pose. One more balancing bird. And then ground your heels. Bring your hands down and start to walk to downward dog. From downward dog, come to child's pose. From child's pose, reach your arms forward and start to slide yourself out onto your belly. Chest through, forward and up. Breathe in here and breathe out. Take it back to child's pose. And if this doesn't feel good, don't do it. If it feels good, do it a few more times. We are going to end up staying on belly. So you decide how many times you'd like to do this before you stay right on your belly. Or if there's another way to flow or transition, you could do that. Ending up on belly. Sliding right knee to the right. Reaching right arm away from your head. Sliding left arm under right to look to the right. Taking right arm up. Rotating into your twist. Breathe. So you can move straight back onto your belly, or you can come into the side lying position in between. And then roll to your belly. And take left knee to the left. Pause. Okay. Reach your left arm out away from your head and slide your right arm under your left elbow. Turn and look to the left. Press into the ball of your left foot, left arm up. Come into the twist to the left. You can move through the side bend if you'd like from here. The side lying position. Top side is extending, bending a little bit. And then back to your belly. And from there, press back child's pose. And from child's pose, we'll make our way to sit. So we're sitting. Let's reach across and find one top of your shoulder and give it a squeeze. And then maybe the base of your neck. And then change sides. I'm going to do a short version of our loving kindness meditation and then move into a breathing practice, a pranayama practice that helps us to fill up our reservoir. So if you're not comfortable sitting, it's fine to lie down. And if you are comfortable sitting, just make sure you give yourself that permission to lie down if and when you need to. Feel free to put a hand on your belly or your heart. And who is coming into your mind today as someone who really needs your loving kindness, really, really needs it? And it could be someone close to you, or it could be someone in the world. Someone who's experienced loss. Someone who's experiencing fear or doubt. See them filled with hope. Finding, even in their uncomfortable feelings, finding those moments of joy. And breathe in, may you be happy. Breathe out, may you feel safe. Breathe in, may you know that you are loved. And breathe out, may you know that you are not alone. We'll do it again. Really picture them. If your mind wanders, bring it back kindly. No big deal. Breathe in, may you be happy. Breathe out, may you feel safe. Breathe in, may you know that you are loved. And breathe out, may you know that you are not alone. And I always figure if there are little ones staying in the space, they don't need to be sitting in order to be meditating. They are receiving so much just by being in the space. And our work is to stay grounded and centered even though they're moving around, right? All right. So now for yourself, let yourself receive this. Breathe in, may I be happy, no matter what. As an act of courage and defiance, breathe out, may I feel safe, even when things are uncertain. Breathe in, may I know that I am loved because you are. Breathe out, may I know that I am not alone because you're not. Breathing in, may I be happy. Breathing out, may I feel safe. See if that layer of tension can just drip off of you. Breathing in, may I know that I am loved. Take it in. Breathing out, may I know that I am not alone. One more time on your own. When you're done, before you put your hand down, slide it up to the tippy top of your head. And just find the point that feels like the very top of your head. Just put a little, not pushing on it, but just a little pressure, a little awareness. And now with your finger there, take your tongue to the roof of your mouth. And we want to imagine a line that goes from the roof of your mouth to that finger. And once you've established that line, take your hand down and relax your tongue. If you're willing, close your eyes and imagine the place right between your eyebrows. And establish a line that goes straight back to meet up with that other line. You can take your hand down anytime. So you've got a line that goes vertically from the roof of your mouth to the crown of your head. Then you've got a line that goes horizontally from the place between your eyebrows straight back. And that point that intersects is the point that we're focusing on, and without forcing. All right, so first, simply notice the path of your breath in through your nostrils and out through your nostrils. In through your nostrils, up into your sinuses. Out through your nostrils when you're breathing out. So you're not forcing any breath. If you need to change your position, it's fine. In through your nostrils, up through your sinuses to the place just behind your eyebrows. And see if you can relax your shoulders. Breathe out through that same path. So you might notice the edge of your nostrils, breath coming in, up through your sinuses, and then imagine it starting to gather behind your eyebrows. Follow the same path out from behind your eyebrows, through your sinuses, through your nostrils to the edge of your nostrils. Feel the warmth just on your upper lip. See if you can relax your body more and do it again. If this visualization feels too uncomfortable, drop it and simply follow the path of your breath. If you're willing to go further back, breathe in through your nostrils, up through your sinuses, behind your eyebrows, start to extend back towards that place right at the center of your skull. And then follow the path out. If you're starting to get a headache, you're concentrating too much, relax, turn your head a little bit. Don't overdo this. At any point, you can stop. The next time, instead of following the path out, you're going to imagine the breath dissolving inside your skull and sort of dissolving out your scalp. So it's spreading out. And this is where you can start to imagine a reservoir or a calm pond or a lake, a crystal clear body of water right in that spot, the center of your skull, that spot that intersects behind your eyebrows, beneath the crown of your head, and above the roof of your mouth. Just like this crystal clear pool, this beautiful body of water, and the next breath in is filling that body, filling it, and then imagine mist rising on your out breath. Mist is rising from the body of water. It's expanding out in all directions. So you feel the breath come in through your nostrils, up through your sinuses, behind your eyebrows, further back to fill that reservoir. Keep breathing in, fill the reservoir, and then a soft, gentle mist is evaporating as you breathe out. Imagine that evaporation is your out breath. Do this a few more times. Filling your reservoir with life force. Relax into it. Mind wanders, bring it back to that beautiful body of water, that visualization, the cool morning mist rising. And relax your breath. Let your chin come towards your chest. Relax your breath. You're going to start to draw a little figure 8 with the tip of your nose so it can go down to the side and up to the center and down through center. Round to the other side. Draw the little circle to the other side with the tip of your nose. Round and up and down through center. This can be a very small movement or a bigger one, but no pain in your neck. Next time you come down through center and it feels even, you go up through center and around either direction, back to the starting position. Up through center, around to the other side, and back to the starting position. A few more times. All right, and when you feel done, bring your chin to neutral. Find a pose for relaxation. To lie down. Let your tongue release away from the roof of your mouth. If you want, you can turn your head a little side to side. You can rub the base of your skull with the tips of your fingers if you want. If there's any kind of energy or tension built up in your head, you can certainly shake your head or shake your shoulders or shake your arms, shake your legs, whatever you want to shake can shake. If you want to take a couple big cleansing breaths, you can do that. Any movement that's going to help you feel more grounded and connected to the earth, do that. So we've had some wonderful metaphors of sowing and planting the seedlings of the sunshine and of that reservoir of life force that you can create for yourself so that you can call on it, right, when you need nurturing and nourishing. We'd worked with trees and birds. I'd really like you to think of the earth holding you now. The cool earth welcoming and supporting you and seeing you in your wholeness, really showing up for you. And any other images of natural phenomena, wonders that the spring inspires in you. You can see them all around you as if the earth is just giving you all of her gifts, and she's just kind of surrounding you or creating a cozy nest for you of all of these springtime gifts. And feel yourself held. And you can scan through your scalp, down through your face, ears, base of your skull, heaviness of your head, jaw and neck and throat and shoulders, upper back, middle back and lower back. Your chest and your belly, deep in your gut, releasing. Your pelvis and your hips and your butt. Your thighs and lower legs. Your shoulders and upper arms. Forearms and wrists. Hands and fingers. Feet and toes. Nature shows us that change is constantly happening. When we're open to it, we can see all around us death, regeneration, hope, joy, rebirth, the cycle of life. Sowing, receiving, giving, working, resting. In breath, out breath. Tension, relaxation. I invite you to visualize this circle of life in any way that inspires you. And imagine a literal circle and fill it with your hopefulness, your metaphorical seedlings and sunshine, your joy and courage. And see these images repeating in your circle to the right and left, to the top and bottom of your circle. That they don't arise just once, but they arise, and they pass, and they arise again in a rhythm that we can rely on. Change being the one thing that we can count on. All right. So you can start to move as you feel ready. Breathe. So you have sowed, you have worked, you have done so much. And now see what comes from this. See if we can stay in this state as you move and breathe and wake yourself up. Right? And either you're taking this into your day with you because you have a full and busy day and you can take this energy of this mandala, right? This kind of complete circle of life into your day, or you can put it on a piece of paper. But we can bring our hands together and say, thank you for joining.